Greetings, welcome to the Diabetes Center podcast. On this podcast, we will offer standard and recommended practice of not only managing your diabetes goal, but how you can get involved in advocating for proper access to healthcare and bringing opportunities within the diabetes online community. It's Tino, a patient advocate and a certified diabetes educator.
I'm Hona, I'm a medical doctor. Together, we want to raise awareness, open a discussion about diabetes, share ideas, thoughts, different perspectives, and overall create a safe environment for everyone who needs to express his or her thoughts.
We'll be hosting a series of podcast episodes from people living with diabetes, caregivers, healthcare providers, researchers, and we encourage you to get involved, get engaged, and come up together to create the change that we need. Awesome. Hi, Greta. Welcome to the Diabetic Mogu and everyone watching. We hope that you would love this episode because we are going to be talking about some of the opportunities that exist in the diabetes community. So today we have the amazing Greta. So I think maybe it's actually a routine that somebody has to introduce herself each and every time. Greta, over to you.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm happy to give a short introduction. My name is Greta. I live with type 1 diabetes. I am working with business development for the Diabetes Center Berne.
I think what I read, it was saying business card and personal development at the DCB. You may briefly tell us more about what that is.
Yeah, so the core of my role really is business scouting, meaning looking for new ideas in the diabetes innovation field all over the world, scouting for these ideas, but then also business development for DCB, but also, of course, for the startups we work with.
Thank you so much for telling us scouting ideas. That's basically how we go about it, about the startup of ideas. I think that would be the closing point that we're going to have to talk about so that people really know what's going on with Greta and DCB at large. Greta, what can you tell us about the Diabetes Center Berne? And I know at times it is called the Global Center for the Innovation on Diabetes. If you can tell us maybe the focus areas and the services for which maybe people may be keen to know, people that do not know much about DCB.
Of course, yes. We're a non-profit foundation based in the beautiful capital of Switzerland in Bern. We were founded in 2017. It's been some years. And really our mission is to make life with diabetes easier. We do that in different ways. We have a translational research approach, meaning that we foster research. On the one hand, we have our own clinical teams, our own data teams. We have a very close partnership with the University Hospital of Bern, and we foster research and conduct research. That ship also shared with the University of Bern, one focused on glucose sensing and one focused on closed loops. That's the research side, really briefly, of what we do. Translational research means basically that we want to translate all of these findings we get from research and translate them into real solutions, which ultimately help people with diabetes out there and all over the world. A really big part of our core business is our innovation challenge. So basically, we help startups with funding, with access to facilities, with access to a network, but also with mentoring and coaching to help them get their solutions off the ground, basically. So research, but also finding solutions and helping them to actually get their product on the market.
For people who might not know, maybe this will be the first time that people are hearing about the DCB. If you can just a brief, how DCB supports and funds project activities, innovations in the area of diabetes, what sort of activities or initiatives are on DCB strata at large? So I think maybe that is something that we're interested to know.
A big point also when it comes to, funding other startups is that we're a non-profit foundation, not interested in IP rights. We're not interested in shares. Really, when we give funding to startups, we're not interested in any shares of the startups, which is really special in the field, actually. I think our biggest kind of accelerator, our biggest funnel is the Open Innovation Challenge. It's a great way for startups to come together and co-create with people out there who have the same mission. People with diabetes, individuals with diabetes, but also researchers, scientists, industry experts, and startups, of course, all coming together and kind of working towards the same mission. Our Open Innovation Challenge is our way, basically, to help anyone with a great solution, really, to get their idea off the ground. It's a competition, an innovation competition, competition. We run it every year. It's actually still ongoing. It runs into cohorts. We have one line which is focused on diabetes devices and one which is focused on digital diabetes. And basically how it works is that we have this open innovation platform. You can sign up, submit your idea, and then you'll get feedback from the community, from industry experts, from anyone really who's active on the platform. And then we have our own evaluation committee. They will evaluate, all ideas submitted. And then if you make it to the top 20, you have some weeks of a mentoring program where you can choose your mentors depending on what you need. That might be different for every startup, of course. And then there will be a pitch training. Evaluation committee will host a big pitch day where everybody will pitch their solutions remotely, and we select the top 3. If you make it to the top 3, you are invited to a 1-week boot camp in Switzerland, actually all inclusive. So we fly in our 6 finalists, 3 devices and 3 digital solutions to the Swiss mountains. We do a 5-day boot camp full of sharing information and insights, having one-on-one mentoring. We do a huge image film shoot with all the teams, with our film crew. We have a pitch and media training. So there's really a lot going on in this 1 week during the boot camp, and we do our best, to prep you for the final award a couple of weeks later. For our award, we will invite all the finalists again to Switzerland to pitch live on stage, and then we will have a different jury there who will decide who the winner will be. And then we will have one winner for the devices and one winner for the digital solutions.
This is interesting. And also maybe just to know what you say, to say, okay, then even if we support, even if we do fund your project, it doesn't mean we need shares, even if we are the ones contributing much or maybe a huge stake of the capital that this person or this company needs, but you're not interested in the shares. Well, this is amazing.
It's really special. And our winners, they each get $100,000 in funding and in-kind support. And for us, it's really important that, there is the big award of the challenge, and then you get your funding and you get your in-kind support, but it doesn't end with the end of the challenge. So we, like DCB, is really here, to support our startups beyond the challenge. And that's why we have this in-kind support as well. So we can help startups with clinical trials. We can help them with a market access strategy or with a commercial plan and all of that. So it's really tailored to whatever our startups need. But DCB is there even after the grand finale.
I was just taking and then I noticed that the DCB Open Challenge Innovation in the category of digital diabetes are now open, or should I say are open until the 15th of August. So that means the other category for devices was closed, or maybe you received enough of it. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, as you already said, we're still accepting applications for all digital solutions. If you out there have a great solution for a diabetes management app or a platform, anything really when it comes to digital solutions, then please apply. You have a couple of weeks left. As you mentioned, that the devices cohort is already closed, took place earlier in spring. We have selected our top 20. Our top 20 devices are currently in their mentoring program, actually, and we're going to select the top 3 the end of August. So by the end of August, we'll know our 3 finalists for the devices, and until then, we're looking forward to all applications in the digital field.
Balance me on this. If somebody is signed up, everybody's participating, but maybe they're not yet participating in terms of submitting ideas, but then they just want to know who is welcome to the platform. Is it only the people that are submitting, or maybe there's a platform that everybody can actually sign up to, knowing what's going on, and also maybe they'll be the ones participating in the voters roll? Of course, you do have evaluators, but then let's say, for example, you have 100 submissions, and how do you get to the top 3? Who is doing the voting and stuff, selecting what really works? Because I believe in the diabetes space, because I know you're also a person living with diabetes, our unmet needs are very different. They're very diverse. So the things that might be interesting to DCB might not really be interesting in other communities, but then the things that really matter to them will be those that they are submitting. So I just wanted to know how you get to the top 3 to say, okay, fine, this is what really makes sense, and this is what we're going to fund.
I'll start with your first question about the platform. So really, anybody's welcome on the platform. Of course, if you want to submit your idea, please sign up, because our innovation platform is where the magic happens, where you can submit your idea. But if you have insights you want to share, if you're just interested in diabetes tech and you want to take a look at all the solutions we have, then you can sign up and you can just browse around and see what happens. If you live with type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes or any other form of diabetes and you want to share your personal opinion, then please also sign up and you can comment. It's a very interactive platform. You can comment on all solutions and just share your thoughts. So really anybody's welcome. You can sign up and take a look and share your thoughts. And we're very happy about that, especially coming from people living with diabetes. And that actually brings me to your second question. Patient centricity, or including patients or people living with diabetes, is a topic very close to our heart, because we are here to create and help solutions benefiting people with diabetes. We can't do that without involving the people with diabetes from step one. We have different evaluation committees, juries selecting the solutions, because obviously we are involved in the process for a really long time. On our final award, we will have a completely different jury, just because we have all been so involved with coaching them that we're probably not as neutral anymore. So we always really make sure to have people with diabetes on board and also on the juries. Of course, at DCB, we're quite some people now living with diabetes. I have type 1 diabetes. Derek, our CEO, lives with type 1 diabetes. Maren, our innovation manager, who's in the lead for the challenge, also lives with type 1 diabetes. One of our assistant professors lives with type 1 diabetes. So we're really already at DCB quite some people who know how it feels like to live with diabetes, and also what's important when it comes to new innovative solutions. In our mentoring pool, we have some great patient advocates also, and people living with diabetes who are really not only come in with the patient perspective, but who also very, very huge expertise in the field. Same goes for our final award jury. We always make sure that there's at least one or two people with diabetes on there to represent the patient perspective. It's really close to our heart. It's a topic that we really try to actively encourage.
Yes, of course, you say that like so many people are welcome to be on the platform just to browse, to see things. Maybe this is the last or a follow-up. How do you get to the top 3? Is it just your jury, or the people that are browsing will also get the opportunity to vote, to say, I think this is a brilliant idea?
At first, we narrow it down to the top 20. It's our innovation committee with some people who are experts in the field. And then we select the top 20. And then the top 20 will all pitch online on the pitch day and have their 5-minute pitch and 5-minute Q&A. And then for this day, we have a bit of a bigger expert panel with some experts from different fields. Like patient, we have Hannah Boetius. I don't know whether you know her. She's really great. She has an MSc in diabetes, and she's been working with us quite a lot. She's very active on social media as well. We have someone who's more of a like market access expert, reimbursement, depends a bit on whether it's devices or digital as well, but it's a bit of a bigger committee really to narrow it down to the top 3. So it runs in 2 steps. We make sure to have different perspectives also from the medical field taken into account to kind of have a holistic approach in rating the solution. The people on the platform are, of course, always welcome to comment, because we will take, all these questions and insights into account when we rate the ideas. But I got a question the other day from someone who was asking me whether the number of comments you get on your submission from the community helps you to go into the next round. And that's not really the case. I mean, we're really happy if people comment and share their insights, but it's not a competition of who gets the most likes or something like that.
Yes, DCB is not just about these open challenges. There's so much going on, like supporting the community projects that people might be doing in their own communities, things that matter to them, because this is what really matters, right? So now let's talk about DCB's interest to engage and involve patient leaders, the idea of identifying what people with diabetes needs. So let's talk about that.
As I've mentioned before, also when it comes to our innovation challenge, we always make sure that the people with diabetes have a voice. We have almost 1.5 years ago now, I think, developed a patient leader program. Our way of trying to find advocates or people with diabetes from a diverse background from all over the world and kind of just gather them together. That was the initial thought, because sometimes maybe we need some input. At some point, take some time for the startups until they have like products to test. I personally really always like testing out new tech and new solutions when I got the chance. And that's also one way, like our patient leaders, when we eventually have some products they need beta testers for, then we're trying to have people from different backgrounds and test them, because somebody from Switzerland might have different needs than somebody living in India, for example, of course. that's why we have created the patient leader program. It is still a bit under development, but I think right now we're about 10 people. I mean, you are obviously part of it, which we're really, really happy about. And we have some other amazing people from the US, from Switzerland, from India, from Singapore. So we really try to involve the community as much as possible. We sometimes run Instagram campaigns with them. I think last year we did something for November for Diabetes Awareness Month. And our plan is to do more with these patient leaders because there's so much potential to work together with the community. It's still in process. We hope that we get some more stuff going after the summer break. But we're always happy if people want to join. So it's not a limit of people. If anybody's listening who wants to join and just be part of a group of advocates who are interested in diabetes tech, then you can always just reach out. We're really happy to include you.
In the way to help people know like what's happening, opportunities in the diabetes community. So maybe the last question would be, how is DCB looking forward to identifying the unmet needs of the diabetes community? We have a lot of differences within the world of diabetes. There's so many things happening. Some people are still using the MDI. Some have never heard about the CGMs, which I believe so many people in Switzerland and in the first world countries are already using. But so other people do not know what that means. So how is DCB helping in trying to level the ground to help the world, like people living with diabetes, to meet these needs?
I think that's a really, really good point because obviously we're based in Switzerland, like Central Europe. Access to tech is incredibly easy compared to other parts of the world. And I think that all comes into place when we're saying that we're looking for diverse solutions. Of course, we're looking for innovation. So there needs to be, that the aspect of innovation is really important for us. But that doesn't mean that it can't be an innovation for people living in Southeast Asia. What I mean, like, of course, innovation, when we talk about innovation here, it might always be more focused on better CGMs and stuff, but we would never exclude innovative solutions for other parts of the world. As you said, there are some countries of the world where people don't have insulin pumps as much and no closed loops because the focus is on accessibility of other solutions. I think that's why having diverse patient leaders who tell us, look, what's the situation in your country and all of that is really matters. We try to take this into account, and actually last year our winner in the diabetes devices category, it's a Danish startup. They're focusing on reliable, reusable, affordable insulin pens. We're definitely not only focused on CGM and closed loops. We're focused on anything which is like an innovation in the diabetes sphere, and that can as well be focused on MDI.
This has been amazing. I don't know if you have last words to people listening, interested parties that are going to come on board. My hope is that the platform should be flooded with so many things so that you'd have a lot to work on. So what would be your last words to everybody listening? Maybe not just people living with diabetes, but also we have healthcare providers that might be interested to get involved and also help because they probably have amazing insights in terms of how things should go. They also see people with diabetes.
First of all, if you do have some solution on how to make life with diabetes easier, then please submit your solution until 15th of August to our innovation platform. If you live with diabetes and you want to join us and contribute some other way, then please reach out to me. I think maybe, Tino, you're including some link or email or something. So please reach out if you somehow want to contribute. And that's also for healthcare providers or anybody else in the field. We're always looking to expand our pools of experts. We're always looking for insights. I feel like there's always one way to collaborate and to co-create. If your mission is somewhat close to what we do, then please reach out.
Thank you so much, Greta, for being an amazing guest with all that you have shared with us to help the people living with diabetes so that they know maybe these things might not have been privy to them. Now they don't. They have to use it like, hey, everybody listening, this challenge or this open challenge or these ideas is not just for 2023. Some of these things will remain on the platform maybe for years to come, and so many other things will be coming on board. So I think everybody just have to sign up so that they know. They'll be on the loop signing up for the newsletter so that they know what's happening at DCB and everything else that you're doing. So thank you so much. And everybody, I think if they don't know this face, but probably they know the letterboards, but they should. I think everybody should know who Greta is. If you don't, wow, I think I'll give you the reason, or you should have the reason to follow her so that you know what's happening. Got so many followers on Instagram, social media. That's so great because you're doing amazing things. So thank you so much to our followers and everybody watching.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks everybody for listening.
Awesome.